There was a time in my life where I would ask myself very frequently, what do I really want from my life? And the answer was very simple: to make a difference and to have fun. Childhood wasn't really easy for me. I mean, that's a very stereotypical and cliche thing to say, right? That my childhood was full of complications. But I was bullied. I was terrible at mathematics. So a lot of my teachers also gave me a very hard time about being distractible, not being focused, and this thing that teachers keep saying to you about not applying yourself, which I never understood because I used to try really hard. There were tuition teachers, classes, and when I moved to boarding school at the age of 10, I was a very lonely child. Now, I wasn't good at any sport, so particularly playing football or soccer never appealed to me. And that attracted the ire of a lot of the teachers who said, you're never going to be a good team player if you don't know how to play a sport and respond and act within a team. And that was a stamp I carried for many years of my life, till I grew up, and then I changed multiple professions. I first started my innings in advertising, moved on to television production, then moved over to filmmaking, did an MBA in between. So there were so many transitions. People used to say, oh, he's too unfocused. Oh, he doesn't know what he wants. Until this stage of my life where I have decided to spend time trying to coach people, help people, nurture people, and realize, boss, you're not alone. It's a very crazy and confusing world out there. And there will be people who will put labels on you. They will try to bully you, push you, and very often they will pretend to know you better than even you know yourself, based on the experiences they have had, based on the perceptions that they live with. So my life journey has been about being an eternal student. And now, despite the fact that I'm a teacher, I teach for a living, I also have my client practice where I deal with couples going through messy divorces. The youngsters of today, I never thought the day would come where I'm old enough to say the youngsters of today, dealing with their struggles, dating, money, profession, career, this whole IIT MBA factory that India has turned into. And the people generally wanting quick fix solutions. These are the people I work with. I talk to them, and very often I tell them that if you're feeling confused and scared, you're doing it the right way, because that's what makes us human. If you're not confused and scared, how are you expected to learn? The idea is that if you ever reach a stage in your life where you feel like you've conquered every challenge, every obstacle, and you've figured it out, finally you have this great scheme on how to do things right, then you're probably not doing it right. Because the fact is that everyone who has ever succeeded has made a lot of money, or has earned a great name for themselves, or has opened big companies, or has very, very successfully shown leadership. All these people have done it while being scared, while being confused, but at the same time never losing their edge and desire to learn and say, what can I do that increases my knowledge, that increases my exposure, that increases my network, that increases my net worth? Think about it. A lot of the voices in our head are archivals of the voices we heard while we were growing up. It's what transactional analysis talks about. For example, if you were a child and you were shouted at by your parents, by your mother, by your father, by the relatives, by the teachers, which was the case in my case. I got a lot of shoutings from teachers. It's that voice that stayed in my head. So even now, if I don't do something in the way I feel I should be doing it, I tend to be very critical of myself. But I have to catch myself, right? That's the beauty of it. You have to catch yourself. You have to follow what you feel is right for you in the moment, while also sticking to a larger plan that you create. No one else creates it for you. People like me come and help you create the plan, but we don't tell you what the plan should be. Because at the end, it's your life, your struggle, your pain, your blood, your sweat, your tears, your craziness to embrace. And that's the nature of life. I've been fortunate to have many friends who have mentored me, who have been very instrumental in my journey. To name a few, there is Vikram, there is Abid Bhai, there is Ashok Miranda, Warren, Kshitiz Jain, and so many more. My dear friend Richard Kohler, Jimmy Lee. These are people who I have learned from. The idea is that I have observed their lives and seen how they are a perfect combination of passion, compassion, curiosity, and the deep expertise and acumen in the areas of their choice. And just, having like a chai with them in the evening, going to their houses, breaking bread with their families. So much I have learned and gathered from the way they perceive life, from the way they structure their time. from their values, which is why I encourage people to get as much exposure as possible. Travel alone if you don't have company, read books, play video games. I recommend that, as long as you can gather different perspectives from different places. That will help inform your own perspective. That is an ongoing learning process for you to partake in for your own personality's development, so that you become a well-rounded individual for your sake, not for anyone else's sake. People will keep changing what they want from us. You give them one thing, they'll want number two. You give them number two, they keep wanting to increase what they want from us. They keep wanting to change what they want from us. And we keep feeling the urge to adapt. But it's not as audacious an idea to be a little bit selfish at times and think about yourself. Really put yourself first, because life can be crazy, as I said. It's not expected to be fair. People live their entire lives waiting for things to be fair, and they're often disappointed. There's this saying that अच्छे लोगों के साथ अच्छा ही होता है. But I always say, समझदार लोगों के साथ अच्छा होता है.